G'day fellas. Welcome to a casted game between GiveUAnxiety, spawning in on the south of the map, playing on the Germans, and his opponent, spawning in on the north of the map, the crabgot, playing the Spanish. Now, for anybody unfamiliar with GiveUAnxiety, GiveUAnxiety is an absolute titan of Age of Empires. He's been around in the scene now for, I think, close to about 15, 16 years in Age of Empires 3 by itself. He's also played Age of Empires Online. I think he played Age of Empires 2 as well as AOM. So he's just, you know, really, really experienced when it comes to the game. Of his opponent, crabgot, he is, I would say, a bit more of an up-and-coming player. He streams his games a lot on Twitch. And this one was sent through to me just because it was considered one of an interesting game. So we'll take a look over at GiveUAnxiety. We'll see what he's up to. It looks like he's moving towards the north. Going to be taking this 40 wood treasure. So not opting to just rush the treasure down, actually pulling it out all the way out to the invisible line. Starting off with a market. So we can see that he has not researched hunting dogs just yet. But it looks like he's just about to have his hunting dogs in queue. So he's got his hunting dogs in queue. Doing a market start. I think the market start for Germany is pretty standard in almost all matchups. He's now got enough wood for his house as well. This is a very clean build here from GiveUAnxiety. Really, really nice stuff. We'll take a look now towards the north of the map. He's going to continue looking out. Now, the map that we are playing on is, of course, Malaysia. Malaysia, you've got two pools. Or two ponds, rather. One to the north, one to the south. Now, one of the interesting things about this map is it's not like maps like Florida where you've got that one big pond. You've got the two separate ponds, which means, you know, if you're going to be sending in two caravels, well, you can't split one in this pond and one in this pond. You got to choose a pond and you got to commit to it, which makes it a much more different ball game when it comes to water booming or civilizations with water. So we'll take a look at how GUA is doing. GUA is going to have a really, really nice age up time, I suspect, especially with the fact he's got 3 water buffaloes now. Speaking of water buffaloes, they do spawn towards the center of the map. We see the crabgot down here towards the south, actually working on a 90 food treasure, picking up a lot of those water buffaloes as well. GUA now sending in the 2 settler wagons. We'll take a look and do a little bit of a stock take on the cows or on the yaks. So we've got, I think, just 1 yak. Oh, that's because we've got a whole bunch. Crabgot's decided to delete a whole bunch of his water buffalo in his base, and he's going to be aging up extra quick. So this is a very fast age up right here. Looks like it's going to be close to 2 minutes 15 seconds. It might be going over just a little bit though. Going in for the steal. GUA unfortunately unable to get it. Crabgot manages to get out and going up with the logistician. So we'll take a look at their decks. We've got crabgot, who's obviously playing the Spanish, so we'll be expecting to see some logistician stuff. And the opponent, GUA, we'll take a look and see exactly what he's got. So his deck's called Blue. Blue representing the color of the water, because it is a water map. Now, we've got no ship combat in here, which is a very important card. Normally 25% attack, 25% hit points. You might be wondering, okay, but it's a water map. Why didn't he include schooners? Well, that's because on water maps for the Germans, they can't include schooners because they don't actually have access to it in their deck. Now it looks like we've got a villager heading down towards the south here. This is in GUA's line of sight. So I'm suspecting GUA's probably spotted this and knows that there's going to be some sort of dock heading down towards the south of the map. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if he goes and sends his explorer down towards the south of the map, tries and finds that settler. And now going up himself with the quartermaster at a comfortable 3 minutes and about probably 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Trading post is spotted out for GUA, so he knows where he needs to target his forces to apply that early pressure. We take a look back at the crabgot, see what he is up to. And we've got this villager down here to the south, as we mentioned earlier, so probably just going to be preparing to drop the dock. We'll actually see the macro, and the macro is actually looking more like it's... this is definitely going to be a fast fortress play. So one of the things that has started to see a lot more prominence, I would say, at the higher level is logistician fast fortress. And the reason why it's being so prominent is because of how fast it can go up to the fortress age. So normally Spain is going to be aging up about 4 minutes and 6 seconds. They then take 40 seconds to send their shipment in. Here, you're aging up at 350, and your shipment is only going to take 20 seconds to send. Now, keep in mind, crabgot has kind of stuffed up his shipment just a little bit here. It's coming in a little bit too late. About, about 10 seconds late, about 12 seconds late here. So he's not getting maximum value where he could be, because he could be getting up in about 8 seconds, but that's okay. It's still a pretty decent time for him, and it means that he's going to be up before 6 minutes, which is a great time. And, you know, when you consider, you know, if you're playing against civilizations that are a bit more passive, civilizations like India, they're only really getting aged up around that time, and you're actually hitting the 3rd age at that time. So now we see that age up in Q, going up with the Sergeant at Arms. Normally on a map like this, you'd expect to go up with the Caravel and 400 wood. I believe it's called the Admiral of the Ocean Sea. But we actually see that crabgot is doing, or going quite heavy on wood now. So maybe potentially we will see a water boom out of him, even though it might be a delayed one. You know, it'd actually be an interesting strategy. I guess we can throw that out there. Instead of going up with the Sergeant at Arms, going up with that Caravel and the wood, and then using that to water boom on this map, and then having a Caravel to apply pressure. You know, I'm not sure if the Caravel would be able to reach this trading post here. We could take a look and see. It probably could, you know, I reckon that's a pretty smart play. So we'll take a look at GiveUAnxiety. We'll see what he's up to. Starting off with a barracks in his base, which is quite I guess for this matchup, it's quite standard. And training some doppels. I would say that this isn't particularly standard, but sending the 3 settler wagons, taking a look at his deck, he's got a very standard deck though. Double mercenary shipments in there. And we'll have a look at crabgot, see exactly what he's got in his deck. He has got exactly what you'd expect in a Spanish water logistician deck. Very Don Arty-esque. I think most decks these days pretty much look exactly the same as this. Maybe a few cards different, like you don't always see archaic infantry hit points. You sometimes see... I've seen a galleon in here before as well, so maybe that's something to consider. But nonetheless, it's a very reasonable deck. And we see that he's macroing towards... I'm really not sure exactly. We see that he's got... Okay, there's a church behind. So going to be going for mercantilism, undoubtedly. Doesn't have all the resources that he needs just yet for it. So the magic number that you need for that mercantilism is 300 coin. Once you've got 300 coin, you're going to be absolutely fine, because it means that you've got your Spanish gold and then the 300 coin that you send in on top of that. It works out to be just perfect. So we see Spanish gold now coming in at 6 minutes and 8 seconds. So pretty decent time for crabgot, honestly, to get up that early. Pikemen now coming out to protect from any potential Ulan raids. We see down towards the south of the map, the doppels are now moving out. Now, keep in mind, GiveUA has trained these doppels from his barracks. He hasn't sent them in from the home city. He is sending 700 coin behind this, though. So going for, I don't know whether he's going to be going for a fast fortress, because he's definitely over-gathering on gold at this point in time. He might be looking just to train more doppels. I really wouldn't be surprised. Now, keep in mind, doppels are 2 population, so they're quite heavy when it comes to their population cost, as well as the cost for the unit. So I think maybe this is probably enough gold for maybe 4 doppels, 5 doppels, perhaps. So maybe he's thinking about training up a few more. His explorer is going to be going down to the pikes of the crabgot. Looks like he's heading up for a bit more of a raid up towards the north. Now, he doesn't know about the infrastructure of the crabgot. He doesn't know what he's up to. He hasn't really scouted out on water. He doesn't know what he's up to. Obviously, when you see that deck, though, and he did see earlier that there was a villager that came down here that, you know, for all intents and purposes right now, crabgot could be doing an absolutely crazy boom. Now, granted, he's in the 3rd age, but still, he could be going absolutely crazy right now, and GiveUA really hasn't done much to stop it. I mean, we're at 7 minutes now. Look, I suspect if crabgot had probably gone for just a standard Spanish logistician water boom, it would be a little bit different. Let's just say that much. But it looks like GiveUA is going to scout out that church. He probably should realize something is up at this point. The pikemen look like they're probably going to be able to connect here, taking down the first and the... Oh my lord, they did a lot of damage to that second Ulan straight away, taking them both out. So GiveUA losing both of those Ulans. Going to be going up to the 3rd age, rather, with the exiled prince. So probably going to be looking to move into, say, skirmishes, as well as into war wagons as well. 3 doppels now just moving down. And they've found an artillery foundry. So this is a proxy base. So something that we see a lot in games like StarCraft are proxy bases. So GiveUA's managed to find this proxy base quite well. I think he was probably just scouting for docks, and he's just managed to run into a proxy, so an artillery foundry. And so the idea is, instead of building your artillery foundry in your base and having to walk all the way over to your enemy's base, you just build the artillery foundry right outside your enemy's base, and then you just walk, you know, a little bit over. But that was a huge pickup. That's probably about 160, 170 wood right there. So a huge amount of wood. Now GiveUA is also going to be delaying that potential attack as well, because undoubtedly it means if crabgot wants to commit to this kind of attack, we can see he's already got the artillery foundry back up in the base. It's going to be delayed, though, because now they've got to walk all that extra distance. But looks like macro is actually quite tight here for crabgot. I don't think this is going to be a 7 falcing of GUA, but I definitely think it might be a 5 falcing at least. I think just with this batch right here, he's going to be able to get out the last 2 remaining falcons. Yeah, okay, so we're at 8 minutes 30, and he's got 5 falcons in queue very comfortably. Like, I think this shipment's probably going to get in before these falconets are actually finished, but only 11 villages for the crabgot. So crabgot, look, I know that your macro here is quite tight. Now, keep in mind, fellas, crabgot actually is a British player normally, not actually a Spanish player, but you can tell from the fact that, like, how tight his macro is that he is obviously a British player, because, you know, British players typically have very, very good macro, just because of the civilization really requires it. It looks like we've got some falconets coming in here. I don't think GUA is going to be able to spot this one out. I think he sees 1, 2 falconets. He's getting comfortable, but then in through the fog of war, the other 3 unpack. They get their backs off and take out all the doppels on the front line, getting a shot back onto the skirmishers and knocking the man off the horse over here towards the north as well. So I think at this point, GiveUAnxiety's probably realized that is a lot of falconets, and I'm probably not going to be able to hold at this point. So we see he's got some villages up towards the north. He's in a position where he could probably quite easily evacuate the base. There doesn't really seem to be too much to lose. Even moving up the cows now. So the cows have been sent on a rally point up north, we can see. So I think that's what his plans are. His plans are to essentially to give up this base, I would suspect, because, I mean, at this point, is there really a lot you can do? He's actually sending Black Riders from the home city. I think this is a good call. Black Riders are really good against this composition. I mean, the biggest threat to the Black Riders at this point are the falconets. Because I think 5 falconets will probably one-shot a Black Rider. If I remember correctly, they've got 540 hit points. And obviously they've got 40% melee resist. And so now going to be moving in to take out this town center. A 6th falconet coming in, so not quite getting in that 7th falc. You know, the 7 falconet strategy is quite famous. The 7 falc, I would even say it's notorious. People just, you know, 7 falcing people whenever they feel like it. Bit of a raid back here. So really, really good use of units here by GUA to come back into his opponent's base. Just apply a little bit of pressure, because he knows there's nothing he can do up here. This is way too much stuff for his opponent to really deal with. And now we see crabgot moving in with some Swiss pikes. So double mercenary shipments. Swiss pikes for the Spanish player. And we've got German Black Riders coming in for GiveUAnxiety. Now, he's actually got an outpost up here to the north that he's made. He made this before his town center even died. He knew he was losing this town center. So now, oh, they've got 520 health. So the first one's not going to get one shot, but all of the subsequent ones will because of the splash damage of the cannons. Actually, there are 6 falconets in here, so they probably will get one shot. Let's take a look and see what happens. Black Riders moving in, trying to get that one shot. But going down, we see it's got 20 HP remaining. So I was on the money. I guess one of these guys did miss their shots. But a lot of splash damage coming out. 3 damage onto this one. This one's got 17 HP left at this point. And GUA just really doing his best, actually spotting a forward tower at this point. So I suspect this tower is actually probably what has brought in those Swiss pikes as well. I genuinely think Black Riders here was a really great choice from GUA. If he had gone Jaegers, he'd be in a difficult spot because falconets are going to deal with Jaegers very, very effectively. But the Black Riders are very, very different in regard to that. Just simply... Oh my lord. Okay, I didn't know falconets worked as anti-cavalry, but it turns out they do. That is impressive. Looks like he's going to be able to get up, pick up a free falconet right there. Managing to take a shot. 1 Black Rider going to go down for it, though. Second one taking off quite a bit of damage. And we see skirmishers now moving in towards the base of Baked Crabgot. Still, you know, while this is happening, GUA actually hasn't lost a single villager. He's absolutely fine. He's just putting down houses at this point. He doesn't have a market up, so he's having a difficult time. He's mining a lot of coin. But it looks like Crabgot's moving towards that forward base up towards the north. Unloading, getting a couple volleys off. The second Black Rider going to be going down. It looks like they've got a lock on it. Oh, I think Crabgot moved these at the last second. Oh, they had a lock on the Black Riders. You could see the way they were following them. The pikemen look like a second. The Black Riders are just going down to the falconets. This is really something that was. I guess I wouldn't say I predicted it, but it was definitely something that I suspected might happen. Black Riders now going to be continuing to micro out, taking out one of those Swiss pikes now, and taking out the outpost as well. So this is going to stem any potential reinforcements from the home city that GiveUAnxiety wants to have. Means he's going to have to drop down another outpost. So 3 settler wagons to the north now, building those outposts. And GiveUAnxiety really coming in to commit to these falconets right here. Doing his best not to lose any more Black Riders, but he's down to only 6 Black Riders. These guys are all really low HP. He's got to be so careful with these guys. GiveUAnxiety now sending in 3 war wagons from the home city. We'll take a look back at crabgot. We'll see what crabgot is up to. A couple of falconets here, potentially looking for a shot on some skirmishers. They're moving into position. I think, is GiveUAnxiety baiting him away? I think he might potentially be doing it. Crabgot, what are you doing? Crabgot, wake up. Oh, they're both asleep at the wheel. The falconets are moving up to say, give a little kiss goodnight to the skirmishers on the ground, and the skirmishers fall down to the ground. GUA somehow managing to still hold on despite this, doing really well, microing out each of the individual pikes. They're the biggest threat to him, so taking them all out, making it a lot easier so that when the inevitable push does come, there's a lot more siege. But now we see crabgot is moving into a double racks situation. Falconets over here on the front line, continuing to just work down these Black Riders and having a great day. But now that crabgot is starting to mix in skirmishers, it kind of makes it a little bit more difficult. The reason why skirmishers make it so much more difficult for GUA is because he just can't simply walk in and take shots off on these falconets anymore in the same way that he used to be able to. Now, there are skirmishers out on the field. Now, 3 war wagons moving out. Looks like they're going to be able to get some nice shots down on these falconets. Look how much damage they do to the first falconet. The Swiss pikemen moving across to cover. They're going to be able to take out the first of the 3 war wagons, as well as the Black Riders now moving in. Looks like the skirmishers are going to be able... And the falconets are just still unloading on top of these Black Riders. He's down to 4 Black Riders now. The falconets counter the Black Riders. Look at the falconets just getting shots off on the Explorer as well. These falconets are the hero of the day. Look at this micro from crabgot as well. Just absolutely doing work in protecting these falconets. At the same time, we've got GiveUAnxiety on the back line, doing a bit of raiding. Speaking of raiding, crabgot is down to 7 villages at this point. 7 villages remain. He's got these 4 villages at the front, which remain alive. Other than that, he's got 3 villages back in his base at this point. That's literally it. There's nothing else for crabgot. So, talk about an all-in play right here. I don't know how crabgot's going to be able to pull out of this one if GiveUAnxiety manages to hold on to this, because this is really a death push that has happened right here. We see more of those skirmishers coming out, and we've got 2 falconets being sent in from the home city as well. This brings it to a total of 5 falconets now. We take a look back at GUA, see what he's up to. He's got 7 war wagons out now, doing really well. Taking out the first falconet. There's 2 more that sit here. There's 2 more that remain. It looks like the Black Riders are probably going to run into a potential threat. Look at all of these Black Riders are so damn low. Going to be potentially losing all of them right here. It looks like they're going to be going down 100%. 1 Black Rider managing to get out. The skirmishers now beginning to focus down the war wagons, as well as the Swiss pikes slowly moving back up. GUA doing a great job of just focusing down those falconets. I suspect there's, what, 3 falconets that remain now for crabgot? So he was up at 5 falconets. He's come back down to 3 now. So crabgot doing a bit of a difficult job. Looked like he was training some rodelleros, but realizing it was a bit of a mistake, primarily because, well, there's not a lot that the rodelleros can really do against Black Riders and against war wagons. Even though they've got the same speed as the war wagons can just run away. So now the skirmishers continuing to build up, and look at all these war wagons from GiveUAnxiety, just absolutely on point. Going to be potentially taking out another falconet here. Got to be careful, GiveUAnxiety. Those Swiss pikes from Big Crabgot are going to be hitting you with their big pikes. And GiveUAnxiety's done quite a good job of just delaying this inevitable push. We could see there was a point where crabgot was like right here, literally like on his doorstep. I don't even know. Crabgot doesn't even know about this base up here. And GiveUAnxiety actually prevented him from coming up onto this position and sieging it down, because very easily GiveUAnxiety could have pushed up into there. He's got all the falconets. He's got the advantage. You know, GiveUAnxiety has to go to the crabgot to fight. It's not the other way around. You know, crabgot doesn't go to GiveUAnxiety, even though he's somewhat chasing him around the map. But now it looks like he's going to be losing a couple of villagers out over here on the front line. The first villager going down. We've got an Ulan that's sieging the tower. 2 more villagers going down. Here's the 3rd one. Crabgot now down to 4 villagers. Going to be losing the 3rd one. And now the war wagon's getting focused down. Swiss pikemen doing a pretty good job. And GiveUAnxiety losing out some villagers as well. We've got crabgot down on 3 villagers at the moment. GiveUAnxiety, on the other hand, is at 19. But slowly and steadily, he is losing villagers as well. A settler wagon going down. A couple more villagers walking across. Just trying their best to deal with the falconets. But unfortunately, their blunderbusses just aren't sufficient. continuing to move forward. 5 war wagons getting trained now. A huge amount of idle Ulans at this point, just hanging out in the base of GiveUAnxiety, just up here. Interestingly, it doesn't look like he's macroing towards a town center at all. He's quite happy just sort of fighting it out with his own economy. Down to 13 villages, though, at the moment. So we have both players that are literally on, you know, both players added up together are 16 villages. Welcome to a 17-minute game in the Fortress Age, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're dealing with right here. So the Swiss Pikes are going to really provide a lot of siege. The main issue that crabgot's got at the moment is he hasn't located the base of GiveUAnxiety. He's got war wagons running through his base. He's only 3 remaining settlers right now inside of his town center. And, well, I think he's just sent a shipment in. I'm not sure exactly what that shipment was, but he's actually found the base of his opponent up towards the north now. So, going to be heading up there. We see some Ulans just running ahead of the... Oh, that's a huge, massive Ulans as well. That's more than enough Ulans to clean up all of this. But we've got some Lancers now that those Ulans are chasing. So, crabgot is going to be aware of these Ulans. Ulans now falling back as well. So that could have been an incredibly timely attack. So unfortunate that those Lancers were there to somewhat cut it off. But now the Swiss Pikes are coming back. And the base of GiveUAnxiety has been found by the crabgot. Crabgot also moving up towards the north. He's found, in addition to the base, he's found some settler wagons that are migrating away from that forward base, or from that, I guess it's almost a side base at this point. And it looks like they're going to get cleaned up. There's a lot of war wagons in here. The first of the Lancers and the second of the Lancers going down. Looks like a third one might get focused down by the war wagons. Not happening. So I'm not sure exactly why Lancers were sent here. There's no real infantry coming out from the crabgot. We'll take a look, or from GiveUAnxiety rather. There's not really a lot that he could have sent other than like a resource shipment potentially. Going to be focusing down these war wagons though. You got to be careful with your falconets. They're focusing down the houses, but it's not the right thing. You want to be focusing down these units. It's going to be the best thing to do, but it's a little bit tough because they prioritize shooting at the houses over the units, unfortunately. The infrastructure always comes first. That's the way that the game's been coded. 2 villages out towards the front. These are the last 2 villages for the crabgot. Crabgot is down to 2 villages right now. If he loses these 2 villages, what does he even do? What does he actually do? He's going to lose these last 2 villages right now. The first villager goes down. Oh, he kept the villager alive. There's 1 villager that remains for crabgot. Can you imagine if crabgot actually manages to come back from this position with 1 villager remaining? He's like, oh yeah, I had 1 villager and I still won. I don't think it's likely, even though at this point, like, crabgot has obviously got the larger army. GiveUAnxiety is like, well, I say significantly ahead. I mean, he's got 13 villagers himself. I mean, to be fair, 6 of them are settler wagons. So technically, you know, if you add 6 to this, it's 19. But, you know, 19 against 1. I'll take the 19 any day. Thank you very much. Looks like GUA now going to be continuing raiding across the map. Just looking for units absolutely everywhere. Looking for raids himself. He's got Ulans that are out over here. I think they've just picked up a spy. I did see a spy that was getting trained by this church earlier. So I suspect if we check the rally point on that church, it's going to be out towards... Actually, it's right here. I'm not sure exactly what that was. It might have been a villager that was killed, but I don't see... No, it couldn't have been a villager because he's only got 1 villager and it's idle in this in this outpost right here. Second villager now has been trained. Oh, he must have sent a shipment. Oh, his market. He sold a whole bunch of stuff from the market. That's what it was. He's now training villagers. All right, he's on the road to redemption right now. The crabgot is heading back on his way up. But it looks like the new forward base of GiveUAnxiety has been found by the crabgot at this point. Losing a couple more villagers. How many settler wagons is he down to? He's down to 4 settler wagons. So equivalent to 14 villagers now for GiveUAnxiety as well. It's going to be a tough position for both of these players to come out, but I tell you what, this is a true battle to the death. I love to see games like this where villagers just really, you know, are much of a muchness. Let's just say that much. It's all about the army, and that's exactly what we've got, because GiveUAnxiety is just sort of running him around at the moment. It's a really frustrating position because I think from crabgot's perspective, you don't know where your opponent is. You don't know where they are. Like, they could be here, they could be down here, they could be back over this way, they could be expanding back up here. Like, they literally could be anywhere. And you've got these lancers, but they could get picked up by Ulans at any time. So, you know, I guess the question is, what do you do in this position? We actually just saw a shipment coming in from the crabgot. I'm not sure exactly what it was. I'm just going to see if I can check that. Nope, that doesn't check it. Here we go. Nope, that doesn't tell me what it was either. I'm not sure exactly what the shipment was, but judging by the amount of resources that are in here, I'm thinking it might have been wood. I really wouldn't be surprised if it was a wood. We'll take a look back at GiveUAnxiety. We'll see what he's up to. He's beginning to siege down the barracks, though, the forward base. He's going to pick up a couple houses as well. It's the dangerous thing about building these houses forward. So if these houses were back in the base, he would never really, you know, have a chance at losing these ones. But nonetheless, GiveUAnxiety doing a great job to sort of get back up onto his feet. One of the primary issues that, in my opinion, that's happening is that, you know, GiveUAnxiety is not making a town center, and crabgot's not really using his. Well, I say that, but hold on, crabgot. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on here? You're deciding to do a logistician boat boom, but you're deciding to do it about 16 minutes late, mate. This should have been happening about 4 minutes, maybe even 3 minutes. Not at 21 minutes. I like the way that you think, though. crabgot now beginning to move forward. He's got a couple of Swiss pikes that still remain. Somehow this shipment of 12 Swiss pikes has only been whittled down to 9. But I say that, but it looks like he's going to lose one right here. A falconet probably going to be donated over to GiveUAnxiety at this point, but GiveUAnxiety actually pulling out. He very easily could have got this falconet. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Explorer for GiveUAnxiety also going to be going down as well. A couple raids on the back line. It looks like crabgot's going to be losing a house over here very, very slowly, I suspect, to a single Ulan. I like it. I like it. We take a look over at GiveUAnxiety, see exactly what he's up to. He's now got his outpost in. So with this, he's going to be sending in a shipment of 1,000 wood from the home city. This is a great shipment. I 100% agree with this. I think this is the perfect shipment for him right now. I would hope that with this 1,000 wood, if I was in his position, I would be dropping down a town center, probably a town center down here, and a dock as well. And then I would just be trying my best to boom on that. Use the dock for the food resources, and then use the town center to power your fishing boats. And really just keep trying to run around the map and try and get back into the game through that mechanism. Okay. Looks like GUA is going to be able to pick up another house over here. We see he's continuing to siege down the house over here for crabgot. 1,000 wood going to be coming in as well. And so at this point, I would say that we're entering a lull in the game, but there's just constant action. I feel like it's GUA just running away from crabgot, and crabgot trying to chase down GUA. He's always saying, "You come back here, you little whippersnapper." And GUA is just managing to get away. You can see his units are slightly faster than the Lancers. We see that the boat boom is now well and truly begun. We don't have schooners in just yet, so these are just like standard boats. The 70 wood ones, the slightly more expensive one. This house still getting sieged down on the back line. And looks like that falconet did finally get picked up as well, so GiveUAnxiety finally realizing. And a random villager just getting picked off right there in the middle of the map. I think we just saw another villager over here as well. So interesting, and more like he's just lost 3 Swiss pikes in the last 2 seconds to all of these war wagons. So he's got to be really careful here, because even though the Swiss pikes do very, very well against the war wagons, they only do well if you get them into melee combat. Otherwise, they're just going to get kited. You're going to lose that siege because you've got 64 siege on these bad boys. So that's plenty of siege. Now let's check on that villager. We did see a villager running down here towards the middle. It's dropping down a dock. So we've got a dock going down. crabgot definitely taking a note out of Age of Killers book, I will say that much. Looks like a couple of Ulans down here towards the south as well, going to be getting picked up by these Lancers. But the Lancers now probably biting off a little bit more than they could chew. Looks like this outpost is going to be going down. GiveUAnxiety didn't have any shipments on the way, nor was he really that close to a shipment. I guess he's relatively close to a shipment. Now dropping down a stable as well on the back line, going to be training up 3 war wagons. And now we can see, oh, he's dropping down a town center up towards the north. Great play here. And really starting to focus on his opponent's base now. So Ulan's in the base of crabgot. He's going to be losing a couple villages here. Oh, this is bad for crabgot. Crabgot, you don't have many villages to begin with. You've only got 10 villages, crabgot. Down to 9. Potentially going to go down to 8. Losing 1, 2, 3 villages there, I think. But nonetheless, crabgot doing pretty well. He's got his dock up. The only issue is that, well, he doesn't really have an income. You know, where is his income right now? He's got 4 villages, about to be 5 villages in this town center. He's slowly losing these houses on the back line. For the last 26 minutes, he's been losing these houses. But each player now continuing to siege their respective houses of the opponent. So now crabgot down to 10 villages. Of those villages, 6 of them are settlers, and then the rest of them are the fishing boats. And now we see schooners coming in. It's boom time, baby. This is a triple dock boom. Now, does GiveUAnxiety know about this dock? GiveUAnxiety doesn't actually know about this dock yet. And that's probably not a good thing, because I think in this map, one of the things that commonly happens is you expect your opponent to exploit their side, but you don't really expect your opponent to exploit your side. And so that can be kind of bad, but he does actually spot the villager out here. We've got the units now moving across. This is pretty bad for GiveUAnxiety. It looks like he's going to be in the corner right here. crabgot definitely going to be collecting a couple of these villagers here for free, potentially. First, second, and third villager, all going to be going down, but it looks like on the back line, settler wagon managing to get away. So 3 settler wagons in range. GiveUAnxiety now down to 6 villagers, of which of those 6 villagers, 3 are settler wagons, so 9 villagers equivalent. And GiveUAnxiety has now found the dock. Okay, so this is quite relieving to see for GiveUAnxiety. Primarily because if this dock stayed up, okay, we're at 25 minutes right now. If this dock stayed up, look how many boats are coming out of this. He's sitting on 200 and like, it's ridiculous. If this dock stayed up for like another minute, even another 2 minutes, this entire pond is just full of fishing boats. Like it is like, it's like a cancer that just spreads across the pond, completely just gathering up all the fish. But now GiveUAnxiety doing a great job of just sieging down all the parts of his base. Look at all the Ulans just absolutely everywhere, sieging down the artillery foundry, just camping on this mine at the back here, killing this house. Finally, this house is going to go down. There it goes, 40 XP over to the good guys. But at the same time behind this, we've got crabgot who's sieging down the houses of GiveUAnxiety. So these skirmishes really paying off, allowing him to have that extra leverage. I guess the one difficult thing is that he's down to 4 Swiss pikes, when really he probably should be on almost all of those Swiss pikes. He never should have lost a single Swiss pike, because you don't want to send your Swiss pikes in to chase after war wagons. Ideally, you just want to keep them on top of your cannons, so that your cannons never get engaged directly with Ulans. That's essentially what they do. Now we continue to see that booming is happening. So 3 fishing boats. That's all that was down here on the south, but plenty of fishing boats up to the north here. In total, we've got 14. A 15th fishing boat coming out. 24 villagers for crabgot. Crabgot is in a wonderful position now, calling Minutemen, and looks like he's revived his explorer as well. Didn't get the snare off there. His explorer name is Blazing for Days. All right, so crabgot, for anybody unfamiliar with crabgot likes a little bit of a, how do I put this politically correct? He likes a little bit of a smoke, I guess I'd say. A little bit of a blunt. You can see that his clan that he's a part of is actually called Baked. And that says a lot about his character. I assure you, if there's one thing I know about crabgot, it is that he is... Well, he's baked. He's baked a lot, and he's definitely blazing for days. So good to see that crabgot has got all of his identity on point here. No real confusion about it. And water buffalo now being found by crabgot as well. Going to be walking through the shallows here. We'll take a look back at GiveUAnxiety. We'll see what he's up to. He's floating about 1,600 coin at the moment. This is a huge amount of coin. Has he sent this in from the home city? Yeah, he's already sent this in from the home city. So he's sending 1,000 coin from the home city. That's a lot of coin, man. He's just sitting on that. What do you do with that? I feel like at this point, I mean, if you send Jaegers at this point, like that's essentially, like what does crabgot do if there are Jaegers out? Like he loses his entire army. He loses all of his Swiss pikes. The war wagons move in. They siege, and the game is over. I mean, that's pretty much it. If he gets Jaegers out, I think this is going to be a good game. We also see the scores. GiveUAnxiety pulling ahead 2k points at this point. Obviously, crabgot is still significantly up in eco, I would say. 26 villagers against 8 villagers. I can't believe crabgot has turned this around. Crabgot was on 1 villager. He had a single villager in the middle of the map. And now he's sitting on 26 villagers. But by this stage, I won't be surprised if he gets to 1,000 villagers. We move back over to GUA. I really want to see what his next shipment's going to be. We're in a little bit of a lull in the action at the moment, so I'm going to actually speed it up here just to see, because I really want to see what his next shipment is. I suspect almost 100% it's going to be the Jaegers. But one of the things to note is that he's not really doing anything with his... I mean, I say that. He's got 8 villagers, Drongo. Like, of course he's not doing anything. He's got 8 villagers. Like, he's literally just started the game. He doesn't have his 2 villager shipment. He doesn't have the 3 settler wagon shipment. He doesn't have a lot he can do. But now we see walls starting to come up from crabgot as well. A couple Ulans moving in. Just doing a little bit of scanning. GUA just hanging out. Not sure exactly why he's mining coin or what he feels the need for to have further coin. Going to be dropping down, I suspect, a stable any second there. The stable going down now with the settler wagon. Really, really smart by GiveUA. Take a look at how he's got all of his Ulans spread out, almost patrolling across the edge here, just to make sure that there's no docks coming out. And we do indeed see those Jaegers. Honestly, at this point, I feel like this is the GG button. You send Jaegers, and you are going to be absolutely fine here. I mean, you've got a huge mass of war wagons. You've got 11 war wagons. You've got your 13 Ulans, which, you know, to be honest, they're not that significant. But the Jaegers here, that's really what's going to be so significant here. Those Jaegers are just going to be absolute beasts. We take a look back over at crabgot. We see what he's up to. Crabgot now up on 36 villages. So, you know, making his way through. And look at these walls that are coming out. So crabgot doing some nice little walls here, I would say. I kind of like the way that he's got... what would you call this? Like, he's got a little box in here. We take a look. He's got 23 skirmishes. So... you know, when you compare 23 skirmishes to your opponent who's got 12 Jaegers, I'll tell you right now, okay, I would always want to be the guy with 12 Jaegers because you're going to have a lot better of a time with 12 Jaegers, especially when you combine them with something like war wagons. War wagons have got that long 16 range. Jaegers have got 20 range. So your war wagons your war wagons shoot from here, which means that their barrels... that's the 16 range. The 20 range is like behind the war wagon. So they kind of get stuck in the war wagon. Not stuck in the war wagon, but they get covered up by the wagon of the war wagon. So one of the, like, I guess the best way to say it, it can be really hard to focus down Jaegers. Especially German Jaegers, because they're so difficult to spot. Now at 31 minutes, we've finally got this push coming through. Looks like the Jaegers are going to be able to connect with the skirmishers. You can see that they're rallied towards here. Needs to be careful though. The walls are up. I don't think he's suspecting any artillery at this point. Artillery is probably going to be the best play against the Jaegers. We've actually got colonial militia in right now, or town militia, for crabgot. So going to be pushing out a lot of damage. And I think GiveUAnxiety's actually realized that and just gone back. At this point, you can't really push into colonial militia when you know that your opponent's walled up like that. You see the docks back here. Like, your pathing is just going to be terrible, especially with Ulans. Like, you want these guys to connect on enemy skirmishes as much as possible. So even though this was kind of like a GG button, it can't really do anything at the moment. And even though he's invested a lot of resources in this, like, maybe it just would have made more sense to, like, maybe send a frigate to this pond here, because you spot these two docks. You know that your opponent had fishing boats down here. You don't really know how many, but I mean, you can check the fish. You can see there's 500 here, 500 here. Like, he's not going that crazy. If he was going crazy, these fish would be getting eaten up, but they're not. And I guess you could say the same here, but you would definitely know, or you would definitely assume that the double dock is going to be doing a lot more work. We've got a lot of patrolling now over towards the east of the map. Definitely the position has changed in this game, I would say. So earlier, crabgot was the one that was forcing the issue. Now it's GiveUAnxiety, taking out a single war wagon. Going to be moving those, so now down to 15 war wagons. Looks like a single skirmisher goes down. GiveUAnxiety's got to be careful not to not pick off these Swiss pikemen here, but crabgot losing a couple. Villager going to go down as well. Jaeger's really getting their worth in right now. Looks like they're going to be able to pick up another villager going down, and those Jaegers feel so great when you do that. We'll take a look at crabgot. We'll see what he's up to. He's got 35... Okay, crabgot is looking absolutely fine now. I didn't realize he had that many skirmishes. He's up to 40 villages at this point. We check on GiveUA. GiveUA's up to 17. I mean, both of these players aren't doing bad at getting their economy back into the game. I'll say that much. But nonetheless, like, their economies are still quite bad. We'll speed up the game just a little bit as well, and see exactly what's going to happen. But take a look at all the fishing boats. He's got 32 fishing boats, 41 villages. Like, he's got 9 villages. And they're mining coin. Where are you getting your wood from, crabgot? Is he just market buying all of his wood? I wish I could see the price of wood right now. I bet the price of wood is like 150, 160. Probably about that. Now, fellas, just give me a second. We're at 34 minutes into this game. I'm just going to have a quick swig of my Red Bull here. This stream is not sponsored by Red Bull, but Red Bull, if you're listening, you're welcome. I'd love to pick up a sponsorship. And GiveUA picking up... that was another settler down here to the south. We can't see the body of it, but I'm 90% sure that was another settler down here. I think crabgot is trying to run settlers down to try and get docks up. And I'm suspecting that GiveUA is just... You know, we see the way that he's patrolling. Like, look, he just sends off one Ulan. Look at this. This is so smart. Just a low-health Ulan, just to pick off villagers. Look at this. The way he's got them all spread out. He's got Ulans down here, Ulan over here, Ulan over here. Ulan's literally everywhere just to prevent any kind of villager, you know, moving across the map. We take a look at crabgot. We check his line of sight. We see more villagers moving out. crabgot now moving out with this villager. 100% this villager is going to get picked off. There is no way that this doesn't get picked off. He wants to get down here. He wants to reestablish himself because his fish is running out in the north pond. He needs to get down to the south pond. He needs to reestablish himself. But I don't think he realizes. So if we take a look, he's going to run into this Ulan. There's almost 100% certainty. Unless he can somehow manage to get around here. But it's not going to happen. The Ulan gets right on top of it. I don't even think GUA needs to realize or needs to like pay attention. The Ulan's going to do it all for him. And it looks like it's just going to take him out with 4 hits. Got a little bit of a Rodolero raid. How do I pronounce that correctly? Rodolero? Raid up to the north. It looks like a couple villages going to be going down here. Losing a few Rodoleros here as well. Skirmisher mass is significant for baked crabgot. Wow, that is a big mass of skirmishers right now pushing out of the base. Definitely. Oh, we see the scores now as well, starting to reflect that as well. Typically, I would say that I would expect the Spanish score to be a little bit higher than this, so I can't believe that the scores are still so close. We've got 22 villagers for crabgot at this, or for GiveUAnxiety. Crabgot is on 43, so still relatively, I'd say in the same ballpark. Crabgot obviously ahead though. And just focusing down those Jaegers. Once you get to this critical mass of skirmishers, this is where Jaegers become a lot less powerful because all of the Jaegers just get focused down just like that. There you go, another one going down. So GiveUAnxiety now down to 9 Jaegers. So those Jaegers are really being a bit more difficult. Now we're getting Minutemen called from the home city. A frigate also getting sent. So it looks like the frigate's going to get sent down to the south pond here. He's probably going to try and clear him out. Swiss pikes and pikemen, Rodoleros connecting on the veteran Ulans. Minutemen getting called from the home city, moving their way down. Really nice micro here from GiveUAnxiety, moving away from the Rodoleros with the war wagons, but we see the veteran skirmishers focusing down those Jaegers. Another Jaeger falling down. We've got 5 Jaegers remaining, moving up. We've still got 5 Jaegers remaining, but the skirmishers moving up and really just doing their best to focus it down. A 4th Jaeger, 4 Jaegers remain, 3 Jaegers remain. And the reinforcements from the north are actually cleaning up the forces of crabgot. So despite crabgot having such a significant mass of skirmishers, I feel like GiveUAnxiety is actually able to come out on top of this. If he had some Ulans in queue or like a 9 Ulan shipment that he could be sending right now, he would clean this up completely. But it looks like crabgot's going to do his best to try and get out of here with his tail between his legs. 10 Rodoleros actually going to be coming in to reinforce for crabgot as well. So a pretty decent timing here for him. Going to be able to take out those Minutemen. I don't think we've got any Jaegers that actually remain in this mass. No, we don't. All the Jaegers have actually been picked off by crabgot. So he's done a really good job of that. Now the house is going to begin getting sieged down. So quite a nice trap there from GiveUAnxiety, I would say. I'm impressed that he honestly held. I am really impressed that he held. I genuinely thought that was it. That mass of skirmishers was huge. I didn't think there was going to be any chance that he would be able to hold that. But obviously he did. He did quite well. And now we see actually, so GUA has sent this this frigate down towards the south. I would say that's probably the wrong move. When I spot my opponents doing double dock up here, I know that they've got 3 whales. Probably the wrong move. I feel like it probably should have gone to the north pond, but GUA doing his best. He's going to be expanding on the south pond as well. Dropping down a double dock, so definitely the right decision as well. With the double dock, he's going to spot out a couple of the fishing boats here from crabgot as well. So the right choice. And now GiveUAnxiety going for a little bit of a war wagon raid. Now keep in mind, war wagons aren't dragoons. They are a lot slower. They've got a much slower turning rate as well. So it's a lot more difficult to raid with your war wagons. Losing a single war wagon going down there. It looks like it's getting focused down by the town center as well. Losing a huge amount of HP there. I think it's probably going to one-shot it if it... oh, so close. 135 damage going over. I thought it had increased damage against cavalry. I guess it doesn't. The town center doesn't have increased damage against cavalry. I guess it's the outpost that has increased damage versus cavalry. Baked crabgot now moving across the map with his Rodoleros as well, looking to pick up some of these war wagons, but just managing to lose line of sight. I'm not even sure if he actually had line of sight. It looks like a single Ulan's going to do its best to have the troops follow him out. Now locating these war wagons down towards the south. Do we have those skirmishers moving? There's a batch of skirmishers. Yeah, significant massive skirmishers up here to the north as well. Crabgot in a difficult spot. He's got 29 idols at the moment. So 15 in this town center. Crabgot, you got to wake up, buddy. You got 15 villagers in your town center, mate. What are you doing with it? I feel like at this point, like, GiveUAnxiety's actually done so much damage just to crabgot through idling him. I feel like you just gotta have a wall that comes out here, like, I don't know, maybe like wall down like across here, just wall the entire trade line. Honestly, at this point, I feel like you're gonna be in such a better position. We actually see the dock here that crabgot has scouted, probably because of, yeah, I think maybe because of the frigate. I think the frigate has probably spotted, or the frigate moved over, and then it moved the fishing boats into the line of sight here for the crabgot. So crabgot spotted that. So GiveUAnxiety in a pretty decent position here. His macro is looking like really, I wouldn't say it's tight, but it's definitely looking good. It's looking healthy right now. 32 villagers, all of them working. We've got 47 villagers for crabgot, 18 idols, a lot of them fishing boats by the looks of it. Let's count and see exactly how many we've got here. That's 17 fishing boats. There's some more. Those are on whales. So I think, yeah, oh, he's just deleted them all. Normally in this situation, I don't know if you delete them or if you move them over here to your opponent, because sometimes if their forces are over there, they can sort of just start shooting at them. You don't really lose anything by keeping them. He spots the frigate in the pond over here as well. Villagers moving down towards the frigate. Going to be using it as an outpost. A single villager going down, getting picked off by the skirms. Now these are getting, he's sent in unction. We can see because, well, he's got a missionary there, but we've got this nice little glowy, what would you call that? Like an aura around it to the south. So Unction's going to really provide him a lot of leverage in the late game. So down to 31 villagers now crabgot is, versus GiveUAnxiety, he's on 37. GiveUAnxiety actually pulling ahead in the villager count. So we had a bit of to and froing this game when it comes to villager count, and GiveUAnxiety actually pulling ahead at this point with all of those villagers getting deleted from crabgot. So deleting, what was it, 18 villagers there, I think, or 17 villagers, so a huge amount. A couple of Rodoleros looking like they're going to get caught here. I saw the waypoint was back here, but the Rodoleros have decided to move forward. I'm not sure if you guys saw that. The waypoint for the Rodoleros was back up here, and the Rodoleros decided that the best way to do it was to go here. Like, I don't know, maybe they just don't register the gate as being like as a gate. Maybe that's what that was. That was silly. A couple of war wagons going to get picked up here as well on the front. Going to be going down, 2 war wagons. So we've got a fair amount of missionaries out now, maximum, all 10 missionaries. So these guys are going to be buffing up the ranged attack significantly for the skirmishes, up to 27 attack. I'm curious if GiveUAnxiety's got any skirmishes out on the field. He does. These guys have got 18 attack. Oh, that feels bad, man. That feels bad. 18 attack versus 27. They literally have 50% attack higher. That is so much attack when you're talking about this kind of fight. Oh, that is massive. All right, looks like a couple villagers now going to be potentially getting zoned off this coin mine. Rodoleros moving forward onto the skirmishes. A nice combo that GiveUAnxiety's got here with the skirm goon botting. Rodolero's going to be able to connect here, potentially with some more wagons. They've got their arms up in the air, and they just stopped dead in their tracks, deciding they didn't want it anyway. They didn't want it anyway. Skirmishes moving up. Quite a decent mass here for crabgot as well, despite GiveUAnxiety being ahead significantly. We've got some calves coming in at this point. Does GiveUAnxiety even have artillery out yet? GiveUAnxiety doesn't even have artillery out yet, and crabgot's actually just said, I'm just going to make... You know what? I think crabgot knows the kind of player that GiveUAnxiety is, and he's just said, I'm just going to make calves because I know what he's going to do to me. I know he's going to 7 falcon my ass if I don't make these calves. So now we've got caravels being shipped to the North Pond, which is definitely the right play. 5 doppels coming out as well for GiveUAnxiety. Not sure exactly why doppels were the choice here. Not a lot of cavalry in here. Definitely going to be able to mix well up against the Rodoleros, but I feel like skirmishes probably just would have been the better choice, but I guess now he's pushed into a difficult spot here because these skirmishes, he's outnumbered significantly with his own. He's down to 13 skirmishes compared to the 29 of crabgot, and crabgots are being buffed up by the 10 missionaries that sit here on the back line. So GiveUAnxiety in a difficult spot, it looks like. He's going to be able to clean up this water, though, that's for sure. So, you know, of those 12 villages that actually remained for crabgot, a lot of them were on the water. Being able to pick up all of those doppels, so all of those doppels going down, really expensive units right there. So, unfortunate to see. GiveUAnxiety definitely in a bit of a difficult spot now as well, because we see his macro shifting towards this, you know, he's got 1,000 coins sitting up right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually do see him go for artillery at this point. Going to be taking out a war wagon down here as well. Looks like this base is pretty much going to be given up, even though the scores are so close. I feel like Spain is way ahead at this point. Do we see that artillery foundry going down? Oh, GUA. Oh, GUA. You never surprise me. I can read your mind like the I don't know, like the back of my hand. I don't know. Can I really read the back of my hand that well? Not really. But I can, you know, GiveUAnxiety is just somewhat infamous for his falc switches. That, like, if he was playing under a barcode, it would be much easier for him. If he was playing under a barcode, it would be very easy for him because his opponents wouldn't know to do this. Literally, 2 Culverin were out before the artillery foundry was even dropped. Crabgot knew he's going to be getting falcs sometime soon. I'm going to get my culves out. So really, really smart play from Crabgot. GiveUAnxiety doing a great job of just cleaning up this pond up here to the north. Not a single fishing boat is up here. We take a look over at Crabgot's perspective. We see he's down to 30 villagers, and of those villagers, he's only got 6 fishing boats remaining, and they're all idle inside his docks at this point. We've got a frigate coming in on the south here. Looks like it's probably going to be going up against the frigate of GiveUAnxiety and going down potentially. There's a dock here as well. Not sure exactly why this was sent to the south pond instead of up to the north pond. It probably should have been sent to the north so it could actually deal with these to deal with these, sorry. Should have been sent to the north pond to deal with the caravels. There you guys go. I got it out. I got it out. Now, the base looks like it's going to be going down for GiveUAnxiety at this point. Not a lot remaining. We might speed it up a little bit, just because we're in a bit of a lull at the moment. I mean, units are sieging, but there's not really much that can be said. Four falconets down to the south as well. Crabgot doing well at the moment. So Crabgot's picked up a native trading post. It looks like he's actually got the... Yeah, so there's a tech from the native trading post. So this is the Sufis, I think it is. Yeah, the Sufi mosque. And basically for every 3 minutes that the game passes, you get a goat, I think. Or it's like every 2 minutes that the game passes, you get a goat. And it caps at 30 minutes. We're obviously at 45 minutes here. So 15 goats coming out. So a huge amount of food, like 4,500 food. Really a significant amount of food. Looks like a couple more fishing boats going down. So really unfortunate for Crabgot. He's not in the best spot right now. Losing out 12 villagers on these for every second that goes by. And GiveUAnxiety doing a great job of just sort of sitting in the pond, just minding his own business. A new land going down as well. But I think he's feeling pretty good. He's got 12 idols at the moment. It's not too much of an issue. These guys will be working very soon. And GiveUAnxiety getting out some Culverin of his own. So undoubtedly spotting the Culverin of his opponent. Speaking of his opponent, he's somewhat just given up this base to the north. I don't know why exactly he just stopped sieging it, but there's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 wood. There's 1,200 wood here to be taken by his opponent. So I don't know. Maybe he was just sensing that something was up, perhaps. Could be it. Maybe focused a little bit more on macro. One of the things that that is quite common when people focus more on macro. So here you can see that 1, 2, 3 town centers have been dropped down for Crabgot now. The fact that he's got those town centers down, the fact that he's got these villages out, this is a good thing in that he is investing in his economy. And if he was going to lose all of his military out over here, he would have nothing left to defend his base. So by bringing it back into his base, it's actually quite a smart move. It's a preemptive move because now he's not going to... Because you got to think about it, right? GiveUAnxiety potentially is investing 100% of his resources into military. I mean, if we look right now, he doesn't have a town center up at all. He's got 2 docks that are making... I mean, one of them's making fishing boats, and everything else is going into these falconets. So he's spending all of his resources on this military. So if he comes up here and he wipes this army from Crabgot... Whoa, what is going on right there? Did you guys hear that? There was somebody who was just wigging out crazily. But I think it might be these caravels up here to the north. They're having a little bit of a tussle with the locals. Yeah, so I think that definitely makes sense to be pulling out, especially when Crabgot knows that he is going to be making 3 town centers, and he just killed a town center of his opponents over here. So I mean, he's in a difficult spot, but at the same time, he's in a pretty good spot. 37 villages as well for Crabgot, so slowly getting back up. We do a little bit of a stock take. We see GiveUAnxiety. GiveUAnxiety on 29 villages with 3 settler wagons, so a total of 35 and 21 fishing boats, so he's looking very good. So GiveUAnxiety definitely ahead here, but the issue is that when it comes to scaling, so GiveUAnxiety is going to be doing a much better right now, but in 10 minutes time, where is each player going to be? And I can tell you what, Crabgot's going to be feeling a lot better with his village account. That's for sure. Doing quite well, actually, with his macro. Take a look at this, jumping out some fishing boats as well out of each of his docks as well. So technically making 5 sets of settlers out of his production buildings right now. We might speed it up a little bit. I think we keep the tab on GUA. I feel like even though there's still a lull in this fight, that the tempo still sits with GUA, just because he's got the artillery advantage. One of the things I often talk about with artillery is that Culverin, think of like World War II, right? So you have this term called air superiority. I mean, we still have air superiority now that exists. The concept exists. Culverin are basically like your air fighters. They make sure that you can keep fighting in the air. And Falconets, they're kind of like your bomber units. They do all the damage. And it's the job of the Culverin to protect the Falconets. So if I probably should be talking more about the game that's going on right now and not air superiority. We've got a little bit of a fight going on towards the north. But I'm sure you guys get the drift of what I mean. Essentially, Culverin guarantee you, if you've got Culverin superiority, your opponent they can't use artillery. And that's what GiveUAnxiety does so perfectly in a lot of his games. And exactly the reason why we see 3 Culves down here. And I suspect he's probably going to be looking to make a lot more as the game continues on. Doing a great job of just running around the caravels of his opponent here. Looking like he's going to be able to get up a fishing boat here up towards the north here as well. Really quite nice for GiveUAnxiety to just be doing this. Not using a lot of APM for this, but his opponent is going to, like crabgot, is going to be having to use so much APM chasing around this caravel. Really frustrating. We now see that he's got the fourth age up in queue. So going to the 4th age with the Tycoon at 50 minutes into the game. So here's his town center. So the Tycoon's going to be giving him that 1,000 coin. So GiveUAnxiety really looking... when it comes to his macro, he's got a lot of resources that are sitting there. It almost looks like he might be going for a revolt when I see his macro. The way that he's macroed up is going up with the Tycoon. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually, you know, gathers up the coin and then goes straight into a revolt. When we look at the macro, it's almost perfect for that kind of play. Caravels are going to be able to clean up this dock now on the north side. Take a look. More villagers. Oh gosh, bit of a lag spike there. Villagers moving over to a new coin mine, a fresh coin mine. There's nothing like a German player moving over to that fresh coin mine. GiveUAnxiety now getting the Culverin Royale upgrade as well. Something he definitely prioritizes a lot. Looks like the caravels are going to be able to slowly siege down these houses, which is the right play, I think. Factory coming in as well. GiveUAnxiety sitting on that 1,000 of each resource. I suspect we're probably going to see a potential revolt coming out of him any second now. Also getting the field gun upgrade as well. So so making sure to get the upgrades for his units. Doesn't have veteran or doesn't have the upgraded war wagons, the upgraded doppels, or the skirmishers, or even the Ulans just yet. Those are some expensive upgrades because the Germans actually have needle gunners. So it's their Royal Guard unit. And they also have the Chapka Ulan, which are the Royal Guard units. So they take a lot more resources. We actually see that the way that GUA is macroing at the moment, it doesn't really look like he is thinking about doing that, going for that revolt. We also see that I saw 2 more Culverin in training. I did indeed 2 more Culverin Royale in training. So GiveUAnxiety preparing to move out across the map right now. So we might slow it down just a little bit. Look at this beautiful march of the military. GiveUAnxiety doing the classic Great Scythe 11 of Great Plains, just marching across the map with his entire army in a single group. Huge amount of artillery as well. So 3 Culverin. It's about to be 5 Culverin, 7 field guns. So exactly what you'd expect out of GiveUAnxiety. We see that the scores are quite even. GiveUAnxiety up by about 2k score at this point. So that's to be expected. He's ahead in economy significantly. 67 villages. I say that up against the 75 villagers of his opponent. So crabgot managing to bring himself back into the game up to 75 villagers at this point. But how many of those are fishing boats? Only 12. crabgot actually doing a great job of managing to come back into this game with his economy. GiveUAnxiety now up towards the north of the map. Going to be looking to get a push in on his opponent. I suspect he's not going to have too much trouble here. Do we have any Culverin out on the back line of crabgot? I suspect we're probably going to... There they are. There's the first Culverin coming out. So we take a look at the range here. This is the range of the Falconet. So they could actually just turn and fire on these Culves if they wanted to right now. Looks like a volley goes off. These are just normal Culverin. They're not the Culverin Royale going off on the first field gun. Age up now has happened for the crabgot. We see that he's gone to age 4. No message in the chat though, because you know, who would need to know that their opponent has aged up to the 4th age? Definitely not somebody playing the game, that's for sure. Especially not someone who's casting it. And more Culve shots just going off. And look at all of these units just in here. It's like, it's a very difficult spot. In fact, I feel like GiveUAnxiety is going to be doing him a favor by clearing this out. There's just so much. These Culverin, they're going to be shooting right now because all of these units are in range. We see that right now the Culves are able to shoot them. It's just they're not taking their shots right now. Look at the... GiveUAnxiety is just having a field day out here, just picking these up, but still we've got a lot of Culverin here coming out for crabgot. Crabgot doing impressive work. 3 more Culverin pushing forward ever so slowly. Got a huge amount of damage on these guys because they're getting buffed up by the missionaries, taking out all those Culverin. So crabgot, despite looking like he was just giving away Culverin at one point, manages to keep 3 alive, moving out with his own Culves and taking out a couple of the field guns, rather, of GiveUAnxiety. GiveUAnxiety now sending in Robber's Baron from the home city, so going to be getting that second factory up. Also sending in the Culverin Royale, or I say sending, also training the Culverin Royale. GiveUAnxiety maxing out population, sitting at 194 at the moment. So doing a really good job of managing to get himself back into the game. We take a look at crabgot, we see what he's up to. He's sitting on 178 population, so not doing too bad, but definitely falling behind in score. So crabgot is down 4k score at this point. So definitely a difficult spot for him, I would say. Explorer now going down for GiveUAnxiety. We see that GiveUAnxiety does spot all of these units now. These are I like to call these enchiladas, okay? But they're not called enchiladas. What are they actually called? They're called espadachins. I think that's correct. Espadachin. Espadachin. They're called espadachins. And we've got guard skirmishers. So we've got all of the upgrades. Now we've got Culverin Royale as well as... These are just falconets. These aren't field guns for crabgot. So he's managed to get all of the upgrades. We'll take a look at GUA, see if he's got his upgrades yet. So Veteran Ulans, Veteran War Wagon, Veteran... Oh no, GUA, not like this. The only things that GUA is actually upgraded are his Culverin and his field gun. So you know what GUA is thinking about. We see that there's 3 Culverin now coming out for crabgot, spotting the Culverin of his opponent and completely outmassed when it comes to the falconets and the Culverin. GUA's got to be a bit careful. His falconet's definitely moving forward right now to be a little bit of an interesting spot. I would say the Rodolero is going to be moving in. It looks like they're going to be able to connect quite smoothly on the front here. Rodolero's getting in on top of the falconets. Falconet's going to get absolutely cleaned up by the Rodoleros. Every single falconet now going down. Rodolero's doing quite well in melee combat, especially against those doppel soldiers. They're going to have that extra 40% melee resist. Culverin on the back line. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Culverin. The 6th one going down. 5 of them remain. Looking like they're trying to get out of here, but we see the Rodoleros now connecting with the Culverin. It looks like GUA is going to be in a difficult spot right here because I think crabgot's going to be able to clean him up completely. He's now got the skirmishers that are all getting buffed up by the missionaries that are just focusing down the war wagons. Not a single one remains. Skirmishers have all gone down. Rodolero is going to be cleaning up these Culverin. And you got to really ask the question, was it just simply because of the upgrades? Crabgot had upgrades. He had double upgrades for both of his units. And now GUA is in a really difficult spot. GUA, we see the scores now swing in the favor of crabgot. Crabgot is up about 4k score at this point. Gonna be... did I just... Is that a bell ring? I think that's a bell ring. Did GUA just ring the bell? I'm gonna need someone to confirm. Can we get some confirmation? I think that was a bell ring. The way those villagers were moving in, I'm almost certain that was a bell ring. That is not what I like to see out of top-level players. I don't ever like to see a bell ring. I knew GUA was an interesting fella. I didn't know he was a bell ringer, though. Falconet on the backline, though, absolutely doing freaking work right here. Look at the volleys that are coming out from these 2 falconets. I say falconets, they're field guns. Looks like they're trying to get into the, he's trying to get them into the frigate, but he can't because of the beach here. So the beach, this is low water. You can't actually get your frigate onto here. You can get your units in here. Your units can run across this, but they can't actually, the frigate can't get there. So he had his falconets here thinking that he's right next to the water. He wasn't. This is the edge of the water. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's terrible. Crabgot moving away now, just sort of retreating. We'll take a look from his perspective, see what he spots. He doesn't know about this. He knows about this base towards the north. I think it's probably a good idea that he goes up and sieges it, but Crabgot definitely in a bit of a difficult spot at the moment, I would say. We begin to border on an hour now through this game, so really getting a long time through this game at this point. Crabgot now moving up towards the north, so indeed spotting out this town center. Artillery foundry going down. Wait, that's an artillery foundry for Crabgot. What is Crabgot thinking? Has he got... These are... I know what he's doing. You guys know what he was doing? Yeah, that's what he was doing. He was getting ready for some petards down here on the factory. I actually thought this was a factory for a second. That's an arsenal. You got to be careful with that. They look very similar, don't they? So now dropping down a forward artillery foundry right in the middle here. GiveUAnxiety is going to spot this one out. He's going to know exactly what's up. So I suspect he's going to be focusing all of his efforts on that one. We see GUA now moving out with heavy cannons. Heavy cannon's going to be doing a lot of work here. I'm not sure if there's any Culverin out on the field other than that one Culverin Royale for crabgot. We take a look at his perspective. We see a couple war wagons down here to the south. Some more Culverin coming out for GUA as well. So we got 3 Culverin out for him. 2 heavy cannons on the field. So decent mass for him, as well as some Ulans. These Ulans still yet to be upgraded. War wagons still yet to be upgraded. Heavy cannons, though, I don't think you can upgrade them in the 4th age. So we don't have to worry about that. Looks like he's going to be moving forward and going to be sieging down this artillery foundry. Do we see any units coming out of it? We just see petards coming out of it, so not too fussed. Not too fussed about losing that. Looks like a couple units on the backline here. Veteran Ulan's going to be just doing a little bit of harassment to the local villagers at the back here. We've got a factory coming in as well from the crabgot. So he's doing pretty well. Up to 85 villagers now, so quite decent. Oh, I just realized a huge amount of Culverin as well. So that's 5 Culverin for crabgot as well. Keep in mind these Culverin are getting buffed up by the missionaries. There's 8 missionaries here. They're all getting buffed up by that. So we've got 71 damage on this Culverin Royale. You compare that to GUA's Culverin Royale, nothing. Nothing. It's because it's not in bombard mode, boys. Don't worry. It's because it's not in bombard mode. GUA somewhat spreading himself out over the south of the map, so not really just digging into a corner like this. I don't know if I necessarily agree with this. One of the things I would prefer to do on a map like this is kind of wall myself in the same way that that crabgot has done here. So crabgot's got some nice little walls up here. Obviously they're not perfect. We did see that some Ulans did manage to get through to the back line, but also some petards really starting to come out now. I'm curious if GUA is going to be able to spot this ahead of time. He's got plenty of foresight, or foreknowledge, I should say, rather, about what's going to happen here. But we're now heading over an hour in this game, and it looks like the petards were going to be heading north, but they're deciding not to. Oh, they're going to get picked up. It looks like the Ulans are going to get picked up by the enchiladas. Enchiladas on top of them. Petards absolutely having no problem tanking these Ulans. Petards have got 40% melee resist. They're fine. You want to fight Ulans? Go for it. In fact, I feel like petards actually aren't a bad idea to start training just to tank stuff. Like, they've got so much health. Compare them to like a... actually, just train Rottleiros. Never mind. I take it all back. Petards now coming down. It looks like the petards are like almost beelining for the heavy cannons now. Skirmishers on the backline going to be focusing down these war wagons. Petards moving through, looking to come down onto the factory down here to the south. The petards are opening up on the heavy cannons. He's got petards. The heavy cannons are focusing on the petards, though. Really quite a smart move here. And now the enchiladas move in on top of the heavy cannons. Heavy cannons look like the first one potentially going to be going down here, getting off a nice volley on the backline here. 2 heavy cannons are still on quite a lot of HP. crabgot needs to be bringing down these Culverin, needs to be making sure these heavy cannons are going to be going down. It looks like first one's going to be going down 100%. Second one, is it going to get focused down? We see the skirmishers beginning to focus it down. Enchiladas are going to be dealing with it as well. A volley on the back line, only taking out 1 skirmisher. And the petards have done very well to do a little bit of baiting. Culverin, final Culverin for GiveUAnxiety going down, and I fear that spells the end. When GiveUAnxiety loses his last Culverin, that's when you know he's in a difficult spot, because that man makes Culverins like... I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to think of a comparison, like rabbits make children. Like, I don't know. Like, there's just a lot of Culverins when there's a GUA in the game. I'll say that much. Ulan getting focused down now, and quite a nice little spot that the crabgot's got here, just in the center, somewhat defending it. Actually, crabgot looks like he's in a bit of a difficult spot. Oh, crabgot's going to get cleaned up right here. Look at all the Ulans coming in from the north. These are just veteran Ulans, but I think, you know, to be honest, do you really need Ulan upgrades? I feel like you probably don't even need them at this point. Like, we've got the skirmishers. Skirmishers have got counter-infantry rifling as well. He's got the HP upgrade for these Ulans, so going to have plenty of HP. Couple mortars in queue as well, running away from the enchiladas with his Ulans. We've got the winged hussars coming in. This is a great timing here for GiveUAnxiety. I think the tempo is definitely switched in his favor. We see the score beginning to burgeon out. We've got a 3k score lead now for GiveUAnxiety. All the skirmishers just taking out the enchiladas, and I think that this has actually been this has gone from one way to the other. And behind this, we've got 2 Culverin coming out for GiveUAnxiety as well. So he's going to have the air superiority when it comes to having, you know, artillery on the field. 2 mortars going to be coming out as well. So he's going to be able to siege down his opponent's base. Obviously, that's one of the issues when your opponent walls up like this is, you know, you really can't do a lot when it comes to dealing with them. But mortars are a great way to deal with it. We now see some petards moving in. Looks like the petards are still targeting towards that factory, but I don't think... I think they're more interested in just fighting with the local skirmishers. And to be honest, I'm not really surprised. Those skirmishers are darn bastards. Look at them. GiveUAnxiety in a good spot, though. Floating about 2k wood, which at this point in the game, I mean, you've just come out of a big battle. It's understandable. The best players in this game float 2k wood. And now we've got a monitor, a sneaky little monitor in the pond at the top. Going to be doing a little bit of raiding on the houses at the north. You know, classic crabgot stuff. Good to see that crabgot is somewhat adjusting to the meta. A little bit of a raid up here to the north. I think GUA's just sent this up here and just said, you know what? We're just going to send that up here to the north and deal with it. But now we've got a counter raid coming down towards the south. Enchiladas moving in with their hot Spanish fit, saying, watch out, girls. We're going to deal with you after we deal with the man. And they actually take out the girls before they take out the man. Oh, I say that. 4 villagers going down from the Enchiladas. Continuing to lose houses over here. GUA is. 3rd house going to go down. He's got 1 remaining house up here. So curious whether that's actually going to go down. Enchiladas now getting repelled by the veteran skirmishers. So GUA's got plenty of resources here. He could definitely be researching his guard upgrades, but just choosing not to. I'm not sure what the mindset behind that is. I'm not sure what the thinking behind that one is. He might just realize that GUA up by 8k score at this point. Wow, look at that score lead GUA's got. GUA's in a very, very comfortable position. I think from this position that it's very unlikely GUA loses. I would say, like, at this point, GUA is at like with a score lead like this that late in the game, GUA is like 95, 96% chance to win. Like, it is a really, really high chance to win. Now going to be moving in towards the factories. Really going to start to put the nail into the coffin. When these factories go down for his opponent, we see the first factory. Where's that second factory positioned? We see the second factory just behind it. So he's going to begin shelling these factories down. Where is all of his pop, though? He's sitting on 196 pop. I mean, he's got... Where is it all? Where is it hiding? Surely... Does he have, like, a population bug or something? Because... I mean, that's all... Where is all... Is it up here? I guess that's it, right? That's 10. That's 20 pop right there. He just... How much pop did he lose there? He lost 22 pop there. I guess... Where is all of his population? Oh, he's got more mortars over here. I guess he's got a lot of villages as well. Oh, he's just got, like, winged hussars sitting in his base. Oh, man. Now, a bit of a raid coming in towards the north. It looks like he's going to be able to pick up a lot of villages with a raid like this, managing to get through those walls. We talked about that earlier, doing a beautiful split here, splitting villages in, or splitting groups of 1, 2, 3 villages. We got some enchiladas down here on the south. Look at all of these beautiful splits. Crabgot has revolted. What is he revolted to? What is that? I don't actually know what that revolt is. So we're going to have to take a look and see what Crabgot's actually up to. So Crabgot has revolted. He has gone revolutionaries. Oh, Peruvians. Oh, this is the Peru revolt. Crabgot pulling out the big Peru revolt. So keep in mind, GiveUAnxiety was just like 8k ahead in score. Literally just, what was it, like less than a minute ago. And now Baked Crabgot has pulled out the Peru revolt and he is up by 4k. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen here. We can see that he's making some conquistadors. He's got plenty of resources in the bank. Maybe thinking about going to Imperial himself. But definitely probably going to be a difficult spot for him. We see that, I thought for a second that GiveUAnxiety had the guard upgrade for his Doppel soldiers. They're just veteran. And whoa, that is a lot of units. Holy shit, that is a lot of units. So I think these are the ones that have got the grenades, I think. You can see the damage on these units, how much it increases when the missionaries are nearby. 37 damage. And you look at this one, it's only 27 damage. 25 when there's no missionaries nearby. 24, rather, when there's no missionaries nearby. So it really goes up quickly. So I think these are the ones that turn into Granaderos. Peruvian Guard. Ships 10 Peruvian legions that have a powerful grenade attack at long range. It delivers 10 revolutionaries. It adds 6 line of sight. It gives you the option to obtain incendiary grenades. Enables grenade attack. I wonder, can you get the grenade launcher card on these guys? Does that work? I wonder if that works. Let's take a look and see what happens, though. All right, GiveUAnxiety going to be preparing. He's up 192 population right now. Up against Crabgot. Crabgot looking like he's just overwhelming. The amount of units he's got here is absolutely huge. I think we just had a bit of a pause here. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. We'll take it from the perspective of Crabgot. We'll see exactly what's going on. He's just completely overpowering him at this point. GiveUAnxiety down 30 population. Crabgot not even like batting an eyelid really at this point. He's got more reinforcing units coming in from the back line as well. Gonna be sieging down this. How does GiveUAnxiety stop this? What do you do to stop this? He's got his skirmishers on the back line. The veteran skirmishers fighting up against with the veteran doppel soldiers, going up against the enchiladas. The Peruvian guard as well are just going to be absolutely ripping them all apart. Look at the reinforcing culverin. He's got 5 reinforcing culverin just coming to say g'day. Focusing down the frigates here as well. I would suspect he's probably even going to be focusing down the monitors. And crabgot doing a great job here, using his look at the way that he's spacing apart his culverin. So you can see these big shots going out. These do a lot of AOE to the culverin. But the fact that he's spacing them out means that the AoE isn't going to affect them. That frigate or that monitor getting away on really low HP. Continuing to move in towards the base. It looks like GiveUAnxiety's potentially he's down 10k score right now. GiveUAnxiety heading towards the north. We've got 12 villages that remain for crabgot at this point. But those are just those fishing boats. They're just going to be on food at this point. We'll take a look at the home city. We'll see what he's got. He's got a very small deck because he has revolted. He's now sending in those Andean warriors, the Inca Harakas. And God, these buildings are getting destroyed. They're so bloody loud. Continuing to chase away villagers up towards the north. GiveUAnxiety having a difficult time. We see the culverin just sitting on the shoreline now, just doing their best to just keep those enemy artillery and enemy artillery and military ships away. I think that monitor did indeed go down. What do you even do against this? This is so many units. I feel like GUA has to revolt himself at this point. He's got 56 villages. Why not just revolt yourself? Like, what do you have to lose? Well, we've got a huge raid coming in from here at the north, towards the center of the map. We've got some veteran Ulans that are fighting against the enchiladas. Now, keep in mind, the Peruvian Guard, they actually get a bonus against cavalry at range, just like the Carolians. Only difference is they also get a bonus in melee as well. GiveUAnxiety now in a difficult spot. Some coin on the ground. Just casually sitting some culverin here. What do you do against this? This is so many units. I don't even know what to do. Like, he's just splitting him every single spot. We've got a couple mortars back here heading towards this factory. But there's Peruvian Guard back here defending the factories anyway. I mean, at this point, what do you even do? What do you even do? I feel like it's just good. We look at the score. It's 20k difference now. Okay, I feel like at this point, it's just over. What can GiveUAnxiety actually do? Looks like he's going to be trying to clean this up. He's got some veteran Ulans here, as well as the doppels. They still haven't been upgraded yet. I'm not sure if that's intentional. I think maybe he thinks that he's upgraded them and he's just forgotten about it. Maybe that's exactly what was happening. I'm not too sure. But we've got a monitor raiding now towards the north. Peruvian Legion continuing to siege down towards the south, moving down towards this trading post. A couple more villages over towards the east of the map. We'll take a look at crabgot's perspective. We see exactly what's going on. There's just so much action right now. He's got 50 siege units down here just dealing with 2 houses very casually. I like his style. And more units up here towards the north. There's just so much stuff, dude. He's got so much stuff. I'm going to speed up the game because at this point I feel like it's just... We're just watching a... You know, we're just watching GUA just get absolutely slobbered here by the Peruvian Legion. And I don't think there's anything he can do. Like, I feel like at this point in time, the only thing he can really do is say GG. He's sitting on maximum population as well. He's got a couple Ulans in the middle of the map that are, you know, going to try and pick some stuff off. But, I mean, that's really it, isn't it? More Andean warriors coming in as well. Slowly cleaning this up. Just killing the estates with all of the villages on it. Looks like a couple of the Ulans as well on the north side now. Going to be taking down a couple of those Peruvian guards. They are focusing down that town center. Doppel's going to be cleaning up a couple of reinforcing units as well. But the main issue you've got is you've got so many flipping units here. What do you do with all these bloody units? What even beats these? Like, what actually beat gunpowder unit, heavy infantry, ranged infantry, land infantry, infantry? So skirmishers beat these. You need skirmishers with counter infantry rifling. That's the only way you beat these guys. But then they've got 18 range though. And a skirmisher's got how much range? 20 range. Speaking of 20 range, why isn't this monitor attacking? Did the monitor have a peace treaty? The monitor's got a peace treaty with the veteran Okay, now he's decided to attack it. What the heck's going on there? They were just like, all right, we're going to stand here. You're not going to look at us. We're not going to look at you. Everything is fine. Everything is Gucci. taking down the last of the houses right now. GiveUAnxiety in a difficult spot. We see he's got a town center down towards the south and an estate that remains. But we continue to see that villagers are just getting chased around the map. We see GiveUAnxiety's last remaining villagers are down here towards these trees. Having a difficult spot. And take a look at the grenade being thrown right here from the Peruvian guard. Absolutely getting thrown a mile. That was huge. Look at this. Look at the grenade that gets off right here. Boom, baby. Huge stuff. I love it. It's just the range is freaking huge, man. As long as they've got line of sight, they will just keep throwing that grenade animation out. Missionaries now moving across the map. Still got 9 missionaries. Looks like he has broken through the wall. But we see Colonial Militia getting called. Just when you thought this game couldn't get any more toxic, Colonial Militia gets called from the town centers. Keep in mind this card was shipped early in the piece and now has finally been actually used by the defenders. So it looks like this factory was going down. I don't know whether some doppel-soldiers snuck through there. Maybe some pikes, maybe some petards. I'm not sure exactly what that was. But we can see that the factory is now potentially going to be getting healed up. Peruvian guard just down towards the south. Going to be cleaning up the remaining infrastructure down towards here. Town center going down. House is going down. A single estate remains for him. And GiveUAnxiety in the chat saying, thanks for ruining an hour-long game. I'm not sure exactly what he means by that. Is he saying he doesn't agree with... And crabgot saying, I am so high right now. Oh, crabgot. That's just such a... Oh, that is just a typically crabgot thing to say. Crabgot is just so high right now. Oh, crabgot. If crabgot is not smoking a joint, there's something wrong in the world. Colonial Militia just doing their best to defend from the Ulan raids up here again. More militiamen getting called as well. And it looks like we've even got some native elephants out. The war elephants now coming in as well for crabgot. So doing a great job here of just cleaning up the remaining forces, and we just see he's finally found, I suspect it's probably the final base. It is indeed, and that's the game, my friends. What a game. 1 hour and 13 minutes right here. Holy moly. Incredibly well played by crabgot. Very well played by GiveUAnxiety. We'll take a look at the timelines. I want to see what the villager population was in that game. crabgot gets down to 1 villager population. GiveUAnxiety gets down to 9 villager population. At multiple points in this, like, look at this. This is just disgusting. He's on 12 villages, 11 villages, 9 villages. Just, oh my gosh. And then sitting down here on 31 villages. GUA did a great job getting back into it. Let's take a look at resources gathered. Look, you can just see the logistician. Look how fast it breaks away. I mean, you can't even really look. The game is so long. Like, it's really interesting to see that they both follow the exact same curves as well. Like the way that they both, like, they start slow and then they trend upwards and they flatten out like that. We'll take a look at the military unit population as well. Yeah, wow. Look at that revolt at the end of the game. Oh my lord. How do you even stop that, dude? 185 military unit population. What do you even do against that? That is ridiculous. If you're watching this on YouTube, I hope that you enjoyed the game. I tell you what, Peru Revolt is absolutely mighty. If you'd love to see more Peru Revolts, or if you'd like to see more content from GiveUAnxiety, I encourage you to check out GiveUAnxiety over on his Twitch channel. I'm going to leave a link in the description to GiveUAnxiety's Twitch channel. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.